so slowly that you can clairvoy while it's in motion.
The London Eye has 32 capsules, one for each borough in London. You'll see one of the most historic boroughs now on the North Bank, the City of Westminster, headquarters of Great Britain.
And this is the last remaining venue from the Festival of Great Britain. And this was a post-war morale festival for the nation, held in 1951. Many famous artists, they have performed in here, and this is today the London residence to the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. So the venue is world renowned for its acoustic information, all the data for births, marriages and deaths for both England and Wales. So in there today you've got an open air ice rink. It runs until the end of January. There's an ice rink in there. Back on your right, the building with the electronic sign there, that is this country's National Theatre. Inside the building are three of the UK's finest playhouses. The black and white ship on your left, that is the old St Catherine. This used to be the Royal Barge, so if any members of the royal family, if they sail here on the Thames, that was the ship they'd sail upon. As you can see, it's a bit neglected today, looking a bit sad and sorry for itself over here. The royal family, they do have a new boat, the Gloriana. So it's a beautifully hand-painted rowing boat, the Gloriana. And the white ship in the yellow funnel to your left, this is the Wellington. Okay, now this was formerly a New Zealand naval ship. It served an important role in the Second World War. And today it is moored here for the company of master mariners. Okay, so it is a floating livery hall for retired sea captains. And the head of this company, it is the King of England, King Charles. So it's a floating drinking club, if you like. You can see the tidal mark. If you look along the river's wall to your left, that green moss line, that is how high the river rises on average. So we are currently travelling downriver against the incoming tide. So the tide is flooding into London, the level is rising. In 5 hours, the tide rises 7 metres. And something you don't see on the cold storage meats warehouse, and it was owned by the stock and gravy cube company we have in this country called Oxo. And when the architect designed the tower, he cleverly designed the company branding into the windows, spelling out the company name to get past the advertisement ban. Now they were taken to court, but they won their day in court by claiming it was a coincidence. Okay, so it was never intentional, never intended to spell the company branding, and they have had free advertisement up there for over 100 years.
That's amazing.
The tall blue glass building up to your right here, looking up to your right, this is number 1 Blackfriars, and this is entirely residential. Lots of luxury, expensive apartments, expensive properties. However, the building has been given the nickname of the Kim Kardashian building. I've got no idea why. You've got to use your imagination. That's what the cabbies they nicknamed it, the Kim Kardashian. Over to your left, you'll see the building with the sloping roof and the arched windows. That's the old City of London School for Boys. The 4 figures in between the archways, they are of John Milton, Sir Francis Bacon, William Shakespeare and Sir Isaac Newton, 4 of this country's leading scholars. And this is Blackfriars Road Bridge, opened in 1869 by Queen Victoria. As we come through, in between the bridges, you'll see these old red columns, and these are the old supports. These are what remain from the very first railway to cross the River Thames. Now, it was sadly dismantled. It was no longer suitable for the modern day railways. But this was the St Paul's Railway Bridge, and it carried the London, Chatham and Dover railway line. And we have the existing Blackfriars Bridge, or Blackfriars Railway Bridge. On top of this bridge is Blackfriars Station, and you can enter the station from either sides of the river. The platform spans the length of the bridge, and there are solar panels along the roof. Now looking up to your left, and there is the magnificent dome, the dome and the cross of St Paul's Cathedral, Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. Now St Paul's, it was completed in the year 1710. So completed in 1710, it was open to the public in 1711. It was the tallest building in London right up until 1962. So before then it was actually illegal to build anything taller. It took 35 years to build, and the architect himself served as it would have been done in the Elizabethan era. So there's no stage lighting, no amplification, no electricity whatsoever, and the building is open top. So if it does rain, well, the actors get wet, and so does the audience. Okay, they do not stop the performance, and this is where we get the famous expression, "The show must go on."
The
So it originates there
show
at the
must
Globe
go
Theatre.
on.
A little bit
That's
of our
crazy.
history here on the right. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are just your crew here. We're not guides, so we are captains here on the river. So my name's Dave. I'm assistant captain, Tony.
Hello.
You see these stairs here on your right. Okay, historically, this is how you would have crossed the river before the bridges. You'd have walked down these steps, and you would have boarded a waterman's ferry. You'd have paid your fare, and they would have rowed you across the river to your desired destination. And that is a tradition that still continues here in London. Watermen like us, carrying passengers like yourselves, and the licence we obtain is a very historic licence. It actually dates back to the year 1514, so it's founded in 1514 by King Henry VIII, and that is the same licence we hold today. Now on your right, golden sign, there's been a riverside pub here for over 400 years. And the likes of William Shakespeare, Samuel Pepys, Charles Dickens, myself and their captain. Just a few of the famous Englishmen to have drank it this way. This is the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. This bridge was opened in 1866. This is actually the oldest bridge we go underneath on our trip today. And it is a very good example of Victorian engineering. Behind these buildings on your right is a very famous market. You will find the Borough Market, famous for the food and the flowers.
Okay.
And these are old warehouses here, so old wharfs. Wherever you see the word wharf, this was an old working building. So a wharf is a warehouse at riverfront. And the little pirate ship on your right, in between the buildings now, this is the Golden Hind. This is a sea-going replica to Sir Francis Drake's vessel, Sir Francis Torquay. At the very top of this building is London's Sky Garden, and that is a free public viewing gallery. You go all the way to the top of this building. Okay, it doesn't cost a penny. It is popular. Okay, they do recommend you book in advance. Okay, you can just turn up, but it's recommend to book ahead. You can also visit the Shard up to your right. That is the UK's tallest building. And up there on the 72nd floor, there is a public viewing platform. But they will charge you £30 each to go up there. So save yourself some money, go to the Sky Garden instead, and the money you save, you spend at the bar. Okay, so a little tip from us, you can thank me later. Now on the right, we have London's very own warship. This is the HMS Belfast. Now it is a C-35 town class cruiser. It saw action throughout the Second World War, and it last fired its guns during the Korean campaign in the early 1950s. So it was the flagship for the United Nations during the Korean War. So its main armaments, you have the 6 cannons for it. It's got 6 cannons on aft, so 6 in the front, 6 in the back. And these guns, they are capable of firing a 100-pound shell a distance of 14 land miles. So the Belfast was launched on St Patrick's Day in 1938. It was built in Belfast in Northern Ireland at the Harland and Wolff shipyards, the same place that built the Titanic. And it is a floating museum. Okay, you can explore all 9 decks. It is a very good day out for all the family. And it's definitely one to consider again on a day like today. As I say, it's good to go in the museums. You can explore the all 9 decks, all the way from the engine room up to the cabin. The HMS Belfast. Ahead of us on the left, you can see the famous fortress, the Tower of London. So the fortress here since the reign of William the Conqueror. Traitors' Gate. This is where traitors were taken to be executed. They rowed down the river or sentenced up at the Palace of Westminster, rowed down the river from the Houses of Parliament, taken through this archway. They would have entered the bloody tower, and then the following morning, well, they were beheaded. Heads they were surgically removed, surgically remove with a large blunt, axe and a chopping block. I'm just taking you a little bit past the pier, folks. Okay, so we don't normally do this, but I can see people are interested. You've got your cameras ready.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to turn the boats around to the left, and the best view will be here on your right, folks.
Okay.
So this is the money shot.
Okay.
You're going to get a nice picture.
Okay.
Now, Tower Bridge,
careful.
it is unique.
When it turns.
Tower Bridge, one of London's most famous landmarks. It's the only bridge of its kind anywhere in the world, being both suspension bridge and bascule bridge. So the bascule part, that is the middle section. Famously, it opens like a double-sided drawbridge. And this will allow large ships or tall-lasting vessels in and out of the city of London. Now, in each of the bridge footings underneath the towers, there is a giant counterweight mechanism. And that is what causes each of the bascules to raise, so they can be lifted to up to a 90-degree position in around 1894. A lot of people, they believe it looks older. Well, they say it looks older. It was built in a Gothic style, built in keeping with the Tower of London, which, as we've already learned, is considerably older. So the Tower of London, nearly 1,000 years old, and the Tower Bridge, 131. Right then, folks, we are going to manoeuvre for the pier. Okay, please hold on tight. Okay, you're looking at about 20 to 30 pounds. We don't make a charge. Okay, we'll just leave it up to you.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure. My name's Dave, and yeah, have a nice time here in London. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
My pleasure, ladies.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.